from Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring, this is ABC Big 2 News at 10.
Developing now at 10, Russia's invasion of Ukraine is growing bloodier by the day. In their most westward attack today, nearly 36 people were killed and hundreds wounded. Meantime, the damage of non-stop shelling and airstrikes is growing more apparent. An award-winning American journalist and filmmaker was shot dead by Russian forces outside of Kyiv. That journalist was Brent Renaud, who had in the past worked for the New York Times. He was not on assignment for them at the time of his death. Another journalist was shot and wounded. That American gave his account of what happened, speaking from the stretcher before taken into surgery.
And we crossed a checkpoint and they start shooting at us. So the driver turned around and they kept shooting. It's two of us. My friend is Brent Renaud, and he's been shot and left behind.
And good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Rob Took. The White House is sending a stark warning to Vladimir Putin that if Russian attacks cross into any NATO members' territories, all NATO countries would quickly come to its defense. We start with ABC's Mike Tobin in Lviv tonight with the latest on this 18th day of attacks.
35 are dead, 145 injured in the westernmost strikes since the start of the war. Some of the injured were taken to a hospital in Lviv. The more severe injuries were taken to other locations. This strike was between Lviv and the Polish border, so close to the Polish border that video was recorded on the Poland side and shown on Ukrainian TV. The base that was struck is called the Center for International Peacekeeping and Security. It has long been used as a training base with NATO soldiers. The Lviv City State Administrator wrote, the airstrike was carried out from the Black and Azov Seas. The planes took off at the Saratov airport. In total, the occupiers fired more than 30 missiles. Ukrainian air defenses worked. They shot down most of the missiles. In fact, 8 missiles got through. Members of the Florida National Guard were at that base as recently as February. They pulled out when the invasion was imminent. The strike was just 60 miles from where some members of the 82nd Airborne are currently deployed in Poland. In Lviv, Ukraine, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
And across Texas tonight, another sign of solidarity with Ukraine. The governor's mansion in Austin is lit up in blue and yellow tonight. Governor Abbott's office said the Ukrainian flag is being flown too. And earlier today, Governor Abbott made a stop in Tyler. He has announced today as a day of prayer for Ukraine, asking Texans to stand together in prayer for those affected by the war. Also across Texas tonight, the legal fight surrounding transgender children. And now the conversation is taking center stage at one of the weekend's largest events. Our hall at Washington is at South by Southwest, where local groups and even big-name celebrities are speaking out about gender-affirming care.
A chant you could hear from blocks away. Trans rights supporters protesting outside of Texas Governor Greg Abbott's mansion are terrified a proposed law will change life as they know it.
I found out when I was in around first grade that I was gay. I was severely bullied for that for a while. And then I kind of found out that I don't feel like a girl.
Our son has known who he was since he was 3, and it's been no secret. It's not something that is a phase or anything like that, and he's very well loved at home.
This crowd for hours listened and shared personal stories like these.
We've had our body parts removed.
Disagreeing with Abbott's move to investigate families whose children receive gender transitioning treatments.
He was too scared to come with us today. He worries every day at school that CPS is going to come.
Across the street on the Capitol steps, a different group tells their side of the story.
Child gender modification is child abuse. As a trans widow is someone whose husband transitioned, leaving the wife and children behind. I've seen firsthand the unethical practices of these therapists and doctors.
The debate echoes throughout the state.
Let's go back to giving these kids the therapy they need to accept the bodies they're living in.
The South by Southwest platform not off limits to prominent voices like Lizzo and Austin Mayor Steve Adler weighing in.
And they are taking away the right for young children to have a chance to live authentically as themselves.
Pledge not to prosecute any kind of action that was ever brought, to be able to say to our community and others this is a safe place.
A safe place. That's what trans kids like this one says he wants.
My family has always been there for me, and they've always been my support system, but people want to take that away from me.
And closer to home in the Basin tonight, we're taking a live look from our Midland Tower cam. ABC Big 2's Bridget Sarpong has a look at our weather tonight.
And now your forecast first on ABC Big 2 News.
Good evening, friends, and happy Sunday. Today's temperature is not bad for the Basin. Everyone pretty much set pretty warm in the area. And actually, speaking of the area, Midland Odessa area was able to enjoy a high of 69 degrees. Today, our lows came in at 29 degrees. Usually around this time in March, we're definitely used to our highs sitting at 71. So definitely not too bad at all. In our 40s, sitting and our lows sitting in our 40s. Not bad whatsoever. Pretty close to what we are looking at for the average. I'll have more of this week's forecast on the show. Back over to you guys.
Well, thank you, Bridget. A 22-year-old man was killed this morning in Odessa. Police say he was involved in a car crash on Highway 80. It happened around 6 this morning at the intersection of Faudree and Highway 80. Police say 22-year-old Brian Garcia of Abilene hit the back of a truck stopped at a red light. Garcia was killed. The driver of the truck was rushed to MCH and was treated, then released. Odessa police say speed was a factor in the crash. And Brewster County deputies stopped a human smuggling attempt this weekend. The sheriff's office says this man, Brady John Alford, sped past a checkpoint. Border Patrol agents used something called stop sticks to slow him down. Alford crashed his car into a tree and a number of people escaped. Alford was arrested and so was another man from Mexico. And deputies in Brewster County also arrested 4 men trespassing on private property just southwest of Marathon. The sheriff's office said all 4 men are from Mexico and are being processed to be deported. And now to an update tonight on yesterday's fire at the Bentry apartment complex in Big Spring. One housing unit was a total loss and a number of families, at least 8, were displaced. The mayor of Big Spring, Shannon D. Thomason, is sharing information about where you can donate goods. People who are interested in donating to those families can bring items to the Howard College cafeteria. As the college is released for spring break this week, they will be laying out the items on the tables there. The mayor also said you can bring clothing and household items to the office at Bentry Apartments. And any of the fire victims who are needing pet supplies can also contact Happy Day Humane Society. And caught on camera tonight, a terrifying moment at a famous New York City museum. A man with a kitchen knife brutally attacks 2 employees. Both of the 24-year-old employees are expected to survive. But tonight there is a manhunt for that attacker. And as ABC's Rena Roy reports, the man had his museum membership revoked the day before.
Dramatic new video of a stabbing at New York City's famed Museum of Modern Art. Police saying that man attacking 2 employees after his membership to the museum was revoked. The victims, both 24 years old, suffering stab wounds to their back, collarbone, and back of the neck. The urgent manhunt for this man now underway. Police say he's a regular at the museum and they know who he is. First responders rushed to the scene after the attack at the world-famous museum, visitors hurrying out, fleeing for their safety.
Stay together.
Police say the man, a regular at the museum, stabbed the 2 workers when they refused to let him in. Police saying the museum revoked his membership the day before due to 2 previous disorderly conduct incidents. Some visitors saw the violence unfold.
I saw the ribbon with police written on it. Then a woman lying sitting on the floor alive, but then I think I saw a patch of blood on the wall.
Natalie Palacios was there when it happened and captured this video outside the museum as people evacuated.
They were running. Some people was stepping into other people because people was very, very scared.
This incident coming as New Yorkers face a surge in crime in the city. Overall crime last month rising nearly 59% compared to the year before. Nationwide, murders last year are 44% higher than in 2019.
And new at 10, William Hurt, the Oscar-winning star of Kiss of the Spider Woman, The Big Chill, and broadcast news, has died. Hurt was 71 years old. His charisma and self-assured subtlety as an actor made him a leading man in the 1980s. He was 3 times nominated for an Academy Award. Hurt's son said his father died today of natural causes. Hurt was diagnosed with prostate cancer back in 2018. And tonight we are remembering the life of Tracy Braxton. She died on Saturday at the age of 50. Tracy Braxton was a TV personality and singer, best known for her appearances on the reality TV show Braxton Family Values. Her sister Toni Braxton confirmed her death on Instagram, saying in part, "Tracy was a bright light and a respected performer." A publicist said the cause of her death was cancer in the esophagus. And coming up tonight on ABC Big 2 News at 10 o'clock, it was freezing cold in a sea of green. We take a look at the return of a famous St. Patrick's Day tradition. Plus, let the madness begin. The bracket for March Madness is set. We have details on the bracket coming up. And call it unfinished business. Tom Brady is unretiring from the NFL. The main reason why he's coming back to football. Stay with us.
The new season of Idol is getting mad respect. And tonight, one audition will make tears flow.
You were born enough.
American Idol, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
We're surprising teachers with gifts. I'll show up to a class with my surprise squad all school year. If you want to nominate a teacher, head to yourbasin.com.
Teacher Surprise Squad is sponsored by Pioneer Natural Resources.
It's the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last. Plus 5 years, no interest. But hurry, the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
And now, most admired alum.
Get up there.
This is so embarrassing.
There's no way it's me.
You know her. You love her.
Ruh-roh. What are you doing here?
It's Anna Gomez! Who? Our first gagillionaire. With AT&T Fiber, Anna's got the fastest internet with hyper-gig speed.
I didn't know you went to school.
We have a lot in common.
Live like a gagillionaire with AT&T Fiber. Now with speeds up to 5 gigs. Limited availability.
Midland Medical Lodge. It's not just a place to live. It's a place to call home.
Initial measurement is complete.
Begin go, no-go terminal count. Sys 1.
Go.
Sys 2.
Go. Hold the launch. We're missing supplies.
Ma'am, there's a vehicle approaching the launch pad.
Right on time.
Order for George?
Thanks, partner. We can't orbit on an empty stomach.
It's the 4-day super sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or check out the Summit Eurotub for only $349.99. Plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Get ready for your day with meteorologist Ryan DePhillips. And now, your local weather authority forecast.
Good evening, friends, and happy Sunday. The weekend has come to a close, but before it did, temperatures sat really nice for the basin. Actually, speaking of the basin, everyone has increased in their temperatures. The Midland and Odessa increased by 9 degrees this same time yesterday. Big Spring, 12 degrees warmer. Our friends at Presidio, where it's always nice and warm, managed to get 14 degrees warmer. So like I did say, today was a very nice day in the basin. And speaking of today, our highs sat pretty close to our average temperatures. Today, West Texans were able to enjoy a high of 69 degrees, and our lows came in short at 29 degrees. Usually around this time in March, we're definitely used to our highs sitting at a nice and warm 71 degrees, and our lows even sitting warm as well, sitting at 44 degrees. Today, we were warm in the basin, but not as warm as how we were back in 1989 when we were sitting at a nice and steamy 89 degrees. Our lows, well, we will take that, because back in 1932, we were only sitting at 14 degrees, just just in our teens for our lows back in 1932. So we'll take these warm temperatures. Currently, right now, we are sitting in our 50s. Daylight savings has begun, so that caused us to have a sunrise at 8 in the morning, the sunset at 7:55. So what that means, some warmer temperatures in the basin. And right now, our temperatures have cooled down because the sun has gone down. So we are sitting in our 50s, like I said, but we're going to continue to see some warm temperatures as we get on with our Monday. But before that, our early risers will be sitting in the 40s. Minimum that's sitting at 47 degrees, 49 in Big Spring, 36 in Seminole. So not bad whatsoever. By the time we get into 3 p.m., temperatures will be sitting nice in the 70s. And I'm smiling really hard as I'm saying that because we deserve some 70-degree temperatures. And then we close that hour at evening, and the temperatures do go pretty down back into our 60s. So we're going down to some warmer temperatures. By the time we get into Tuesday, 6 a.m., temperatures will be sitting in the 30s. But again, it will begin to increase. By noon, we will be sitting in our 60s at 61 degrees in the Midland and Odessa area. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. Here's our day planner for tomorrow. A cool start, but still sunny, sitting at 42 degrees. By the time we get into noon, we will be sitting at nice and steamy 63 degrees with some sunny skies. And by the time we get to 5 p.m., that's when temperatures will increase to 67. So very much warm throughout the entire day tomorrow. The sun will be out, so that's going to be super exciting. Not only will the sun be out, but also the winds will be out too. Right now, it is pretty windy, but we're going to continue seeing some of that wind coming on in the basin. Around 3 p.m., we will be sitting in our 20s, sitting at 20 miles per hour in the Midland and Odessa area. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. Now, our kiddos going over to school, we do, with the winds, we will see a fire weather watch. So do be careful on that, but definitely not too bad whatsoever. We're going to see that fire weather watch by 10 p.m. Central Time. That's when it will expire, but our 7-day will show that we won't have too much of any cold temperatures. In fact, we will be reaching our 80s halfway through the week. So super exciting in the basin. Hey, today just started us off with some really great temperatures, Rob.
Great weather. I was feeling a little bit sluggish, but I can say I'm looking forward to the sun being out later at night.
Oh, me too.
It's a welcoming sight. Well, thank you, Bridget. People in Chicago welcomed back a beloved tradition today. Despite the bitter cold and snow up north, crowds celebrated St. Patrick's Day by once again dyeing the Chicago River green and holding the first parade in 3 years. ABC's Sean Lewis spoke with those who stood outside, braving the cold for a little fun.
Even in single-digit wind chill, Chicago proved equal to the task in celebrating the holiday where everyone is just a bit Irish.
It's colder than I was expecting for sure, but I definitely been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this the last 2 weeks.
It's the first time since 2019 for the Chicago St. Patrick's Day Parade after 2 years of pandemic cancellations.
We're Irish, so we had to get where the Irish folk are and celebrate.
The traditional dyeing of the Chicago River dates back to 1962, thanks to the Plumbers Union, the bright green drawing thousands to the riverfront to kick off the celebrations.
It's cold. We're braving it, but we're not so used to this cold from being from Dallas, but you got to push through, got to celebrate.
Chicago St. Patrick's Day Parade is just one of the many highlights for the weekend. The Southside Irish Parade on Sunday will also be back, a time to celebrate Chicago's deep Irish roots and a return to more of a normal way of life as pandemic restrictions are lifted.
So it may get to be really special, back to the way it used to be.
Lifting the spirits and a beer this St. Patrick's Day weekend.
So the tradition of dyeing the river green started in 1962 with a dye plumbers used to test for leaks in pipes. Now the city uses a more environmentally friendly powder made from vegetables. The powder is actually orange.
And now your ABC Big 2 Sports.
And Avi, they call the powder leprechaun magic. That's how it turns the water green.
Interesting.
Well, Avi, a major announcement in the NFL took headlines away from March Madness. What happened?
I think what happened was Tom Brady basically hijacked Twitter from all this March Madness talk. Tom Brady was probably saying something along the lines of, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Tom Brady announced his return less than 6 weeks after announcing his retirement, and he's coming back to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady took to Twitter to say, These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. That time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates and I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa, unfinished business. Now, there had been speculation for a while that Brady wasn't really retired, especially considering he's still played at a high level this past season. The 44-year-old Brady is coming off a season in which he led the NFL in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completions, and attempts. Brady will go for his 8th championship with Tampa after winning it all with the Bucs after the 2020 season and 6 titles in 2 decades with the New England Patriots. Well, today, let's get to what we knew was going to happen today. Selection Sunday, where everyone finds out if they made the big dance, and for those who made it, where, when, and who. Who they'll be playing, of course. The first 4 games tip off on Tuesday in Dayton, Ohio, and then the first and second rounds begin on Thursday, which is where the real fun begins. Games tipping off all over the country. And at that point, our brackets are hopefully not completely eviscerated right away. Oh, we'll see. Let's take a look at where Texas Tech will be later this week. They earned an at-large bid after losing the Big 12 championship against Kansas. The Red Raiders, they're going to be taking on the Montana State Bobcats, the Big Sky Conference champions in their first tournament since 1996. Of course, now it's survive and advance, and so Tech heads west to San Diego. We'll try to do that for their game on Friday. Well, this isn't something you see every day. An NBA game about to tip off in Oklahoma City between the host Thunder and the visiting Memphis Grizzlies. The tip-off is delayed because both teams are wearing white jerseys. So the Grizzlies, they go back to their locker room, and here they come back out in their dark blue uniforms, something you don't see every day. That's one for the books. UTPB baseball at Momentum Bank Park for a doubleheader against the Cameron Aggies. They won the first game of their series yesterday. That's Pedro Astacio at the plate in the bottom of the 6th and sends that baby all the way out to the grass behind the left field wall. Astacio hits his 2nd dinger of the season, and the Falcons at this point go up 3. However, hitting has not been the problem this year for the Falcons. It's been pitching. So here comes Caleb Veono, and he tries to close out the game in the last inning here. He gets a strikeout to get things going, and then Veono would get going another one down the stretch. Gets this guy to go out swinging, 2nd out. Nice play there, and he lets the next batter, he'll reach first, but a ground ball to second base. Nice easy throw over to Oswaldo Godina at first. He had to make a bit of a stretch there. Nice play, though, to end the game. He reaches a bit, but gets the final out. Veono gets the save, and with some good pitching, they win Game 1. They lost the second game, splitting the doubleheader, but a nice Game 1. And, of course, Rob, the big news in sports that nobody saw coming, at least, Tom Brady, back on the field. I had a feeling, and I hope you as a Niners fan didn't get your hopes up too much that he was coming back to your team.
Yeah, there's so much talk about him. It only took him 6 weeks. Good for him. I particularly don't care. But look, Avi, I feel bad for the guy who paid $512,000 for the last football of it was the last
touchdown pass he ever threw, over $500,000, and now it's not going to be his last touchdown.
So much for that, right?
Yeah, I hate to be that guy.
All right, well, thanks, Avi. Appreciate it. Well, plane tickets are soaring tonight. The advice from industry analysts on how to save on your next trip. We'll be right back.
It's motion madness at Bob Mills, and I saved the best just for you. Like this shadow sofa with drop-down table, plus the rocking recliner. But let me take care of the price. It's less than $50 a month, and at Bob Mills, you always have 60 months to pay. In addition to finding the best prices on motion furniture, we've got the best selection, and you're never bothered with those nagging shopper stalkers. That's at Bob Mills. Oh, and by the way, we're in stock.
The Vineyard, Midland's premier master-planned community, impeccable high-end luxury with resort-style amenities. These Silverleaf homes are located close to Green Tree Country Club and are walking distance to Faskin Elementary. Contact Alexa to schedule your private showing.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Visit your local dealer for the Made in America BGA 57 battery blower. Real steel. Find yours.
There are almost 1,000 youth in foster care in this part of Texas.
You can give back to your community by getting involved with any organization that helps.
Our hope is to bring change to the Permian Basin by getting our community involved and bringing kids home to the Permian Basin.
You can be an advocate, you can donate, and you can volunteer. Doing so will transform lives.
Visit getinvolvedpb.org.
At Window Pro, we've served the great people of West Texas for over 30 years with quality windows, siding, patios, and sunrooms. Call us today for a free, no-hassle estimate.
Real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
As we all feel a pinch at the gas pump, Uber has announced a surcharge for rideshare and delivery. It's being called a fuel surcharge. So what will it cost you? Rides will be up to 55 cents more and up to 45 cents more for deliveries in all cities except for New York City. The extra money will go to drivers, and right now the changes will last for 2 months. Prices are about $1.50 more per gallon right now than last year. Higher fuel prices aren't just affecting people who want to fill up their tanks. It also means paying a lot more to fly. ABC's Richard Giacovas has more from LaGuardia Airport in New York City.
If you scored a deal on airfare these past few weeks, well, consider yourself lucky.
They increase every 10 minutes.
For the Rios family, well, their daughter got a cheap ticket to Orlando a few months back. But for mom and dad, they missed out.
I got my ticket for like cheaper,
and I got the same flight for double.
Yeah. Wow.
And then my husband's flight was 3 times.
Both domestic and international flight prices have been soaring in recent weeks as fuel prices skyrocket across the country.
The only way we're going to go from here is up when it comes to prices.
Managing editor for The Points Guy, Clint Henderson, says although airlines may not actually admit to upcharging for fuel through a surcharge, you can bet they'll make up for the higher priced gasoline somehow.
The last time this happened, though, the airlines got really creative. They started adding baggage fees. So there's ways that they can do this without saying it's directly correlated.
At LaGuardia Airport Saturday night, those who have to get to their destination know that ultimately they're going to have to just pay up.
I have family in Florida, so probably I will have to go and see them.
And it's the least favorite weekend of the year for a lot of people, losing an hour of sleep because of the switch to daylight saving time. What medical experts suggest to get back on track. We'll be right back.
AC Big 2 Sports, brought to you by Glasheen Vaez and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
What has your debit card been doing for you lately? Is it earning you any money? How about rewards? Because with the Kasasa Rewards checking account at MTCU, every swipe on qualifying transactions earns you cash and rewards. For added convenience, cardholders have access to over 30 free ATMs throughout the Permian Basin. We also refund a portion of monthly ATM fees to our qualifying Kasasa members. Stop by one of our branches and find out how you can earn money back by opening your Kasasa Rewards checking account. MTCU, your partner in lending, your partner in life.
We're optimizing your connections. Our new smart Wi-Fi 6 technology powered by Optimum features mesh coverage for a better whole home Wi-Fi experience. Now with an extender included, you'll get Wi-Fi even in those hard-to-reach places. Stream, work, and game faster, all on one powerful mesh Wi-Fi network. Greater whole home coverage is here with Smart Wi-Fi 6, now including a free Wi-Fi extender with select internet packages.
Since 2018, you've known us as JT Properties and Staging.
We are the staging company you trust to have the highest level of knowledge, service, and furnishings. We provide the element your home needs to prepare for a top sale. Element is a top 10 nationally recognized staging company right here in the Permian Basin. The element you need to elevate your listing. To reflect our commitment to being your preferred staging company, we've changed our name. Welcome to Element.
Why would Stanton Optical choose a spokesbird? They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin. We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait.
Get 2 pairs of glasses plus a free eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $79.
Feeling a bit more tired today? Me too. Early this morning at 2 o'clock, the time jumped an hour ahead. That gives us more daylight in the evening, but we lose an hour of sleep. ABC's Nina McFarland shows us how losing sleep can affect our bodies.
Don't forget to change your clocks.
I woke up, I was like, oh, it's brighter out. My clock on my oven's back an hour. Oh, it happened.
On Sunday, March 13th at 2 a.m., the time jumped an hour ahead, giving us more daylight in the evening, but it also means we lose an hour of sleep. Polysomnographist at OSF Healthcare, Deb Tapp, says while an hour may seem harmless, it can also throw off your sleep patterns.
Be aware that for some people it really can still affect your daytime functioning for a short period of time until you get used to it.
OSF Healthcare Clinical Sleep Director Dr. Verma says it's probably why you felt a bit more tired on Sunday.
You've got more stress hormones than what you're used to for that time period, because you're starting to wake up or your alarm clock is going off when you think you should be sleeping a little bit longer.
This was the case for Dante Rosa, a Varna resident.
Yeah, I definitely felt more tired. That's for sure. I definitely felt like I lost the hour.
Rosa says regardless, he's excited for more daylight.
You lose an hour, that's sad. But you could gain an hour of fun activities you could do in the afternoon, like baseball upcoming, and just summer activities in general.
To help ease into the change, Tapp says create a sleep schedule and stick with it.
You should have structured bedtimes, probably have the same sleep time, wake time, regardless of whether or not you're working or not.
And that was Nina McFarland reporting. After the break, Bridget will have one last look at the forecast. We'll be right back.
Abrams, 9 o'clock, telling it like it is, now at a new time.
Here's where I'm coming from. Here's what I'm thinking.
Dan Abrams live at his new time, 9/8 Central. Weeknights on News Nation. News for all America. Russia invades Ukraine.
A News Nation exclusive now, a former KGB spy. He is describing Putin as a war criminal.
I know she will never give up. Continuing coverage on Russia at war. Stay tuned to News Nation.
Get the Planet Fitness Black Card, our most popular membership for zero enrollment and only $22.99 a month. With access to 2,000 plus locations, bring a friend every time you visit.
I love friends.
And relaxing massage chairs.
That makes me so happy.
The PF Black Card is your ticket to all the perks. Look at that glow.
It's all natural.
It's this place, I tell you. So get glowing and feel fit-tacular for zero enrollment and only $22.99 a month. Deal ends Wednesday, March 16th.
And now, most admired alum.
Get up there.
This is so embarrassing.
There's no way it's me.
You know her. You love her.
Ruh-roh. What are you doing here?
It's Anna Gomez! Who? Our first gazillionaire. With AT&T Fiber, Anna's got the fastest internet with hyper-gig speeds.
I didn't know you went to school. We have a lot in common.
Live like a gazillionaire with AT&T Fiber. Now with speeds up to 5 gigs. Limited availability.
The UPRA returns to the Midland Horseshoe for the Permian Basin Spring Stampede Pro Rodeo. Sponsored by All-American Chrysler Dodge Ram of Midland on Friday, April 1st and Saturday, April 2nd. Come enjoy loads of family fun with rodeo entertainment and plenty of excitement. From bull riding, barrel racing to bucking broncos, even mutton busting. For tickets and more information, visit MidlandHorseshoe.com and come see us for the Permian Basin Spring Stampede Pro Rodeo at the Midland Horseshoe Arena.
Well, friends, let's take one last look at that 7-day forecast. Tomorrow is going to be sunny, highs at 68 degrees. We are going to wake up in our 30s, but not too bad whatsoever because today actually a warm day, and it set us up for some really warm temperatures this week. We increased to our 70s on Tuesday, and I'm really excited about this one, you guys. Wednesday will sit at 82 degrees, very sunny, and then we cool back down to our 70s. So we'll take what we can get, some sun and some warm temperatures, you guys.
It's looking like a good week, Bridget. Well, that's all the time we have for news. Good Morning Basin starts tomorrow morning at 5. Thanks for joining us, and good night.